Okay, so here we are again, and this time we're just gonna cut the leftover bits and bobs, the seams from the casting from some of the models here, so you can see how that goes. So first of all, we bought this knife at an arts and crafts store. It was in the model section, and it just looked, I don't know, useful. Yeah. And it's actually been really good. Like, it's very sharp, so be careful to always cut away from your body.
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't do it like that because I'm very accident prone. I would put it down and cut towards the surface. Exactly.
You'll see that it actually it's so sharp that you can even just make small little either hacks towards it, or you can be really patient and flake away at stuff. But I guess just be careful in general that you don't put too much pressure on stuff, because a lot of these are really small changes that are kind of happening here.
Yeah. I mean, some of the bigger things are really easy to see. Like, you'll see, sort of like with Hermione, the connection, like these, like the connection bits here that have to go. But for some of the figurines...
So things like Filch. Filch had like a double chin, which was coming out almost to the edge of his chin. And when you try and go into it, it's almost difficult because you couldn't get the blade in deep enough without sort of hitting the cat or the lantern. But you'll see even here, on this, there's a very tiny bit that when the cast came off, it just needs kind of like a cleanup. So it's sometimes awkward, but if you just do it...
Yeah. So you'll... Sort of in the first instance, I think it's fine to just chop off the major bits, or then also some of the arms or the legs, as you can see here, are still connected to the bases. So then you can cut those off. And then as you look at the models more closely, you're actually going to see like some small parts that you can still remove. But ultimately, it's just perfectionism in most cases. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is Creature. Creature has two bits that are stuck to him. But you can see there, now even when I've taken that bit off, it's just a matter of...
sort of getting it smooth a bit.
Yeah.
I guess if you have some... Well, I would be careful with sanding paper, but if you really want it to be perfect... I don't know. I mean, it's going to be covered in paint anyway, so I don't think it's going to be very noticeable.
That's also why you're doing it. You're basically trying to make it nice... a little bit smoother, so that when you paint it, you don't see bits that don't look as like part of the figure.
Yeah.
You see there, that was quite neat and easy, and he looks fine. Even though it's a different color, remember, once you prime it and you paint it, it's not going to make a difference. You're not going to see it unless you're leaving the figures this color.
I think also his ears are attached extra.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yeah. There's like a little beam going from his ear to his shoulder, which normally wouldn't be there.
And that's very quickly come off.
Yeah.
And then that's just a neatening of a flaky bit. Yeah. You can see my fingers aren't actually touching the blade, and that's probably quite important to notice, that it obviously...
Yeah, it's very sharp, so
like,
be careful.
Super sharp.
Be careful in the direction that you're cutting in. Yep, looks good. So, I mean, yeah, the closer you look at the models, the more sort of unevenness you're going to notice, but it doesn't really matter in most cases, really.
Yeah, you can start to get finicky about stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's basically how we clean them up. And, yeah, shall we...
We're now going to try and assemble a couple, so...
Yeah.
We'll see you in a bit.